Morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is Menachem Creditor. It's my honor to serve as scholar in residence and rabbi for UJA Federation of New York. We bring you Torah and music, blessing, and community every weekday. We've been doing so since March 18th, 2020. Today it is Tuesday, February 10th, 2026. It's been an honor to be part of this global community from all over the world who comes together every morning just to say hi, to learn some Torah, to face this world with more hope. Michael and Neil, Lydia, Jonathan, and Susie, it's so good to see all of you. I hope that you and yours are safe and well. Let's see who else is here. We'll say a few more hellos. We'll begin with a bracha and then we'll learn some Torah. Carl and Valerie, good morning. Nice to see you. Let's see who else is here. Looking to Instagram, Boker Tov, Jonathan. Nice to see you too. Jack and Cecile, Arlene and George, Boker Tov. Hi, Scott. Nice to see you. Okay. Here we go. Peter and Haley, Dave, good to see you all. Let's get the guitar. Hi, Karen. Hi, Barry. Nice to see you too. Eileen, Linda, Amy, Booker, Tove. Hi, Deborah. Moshe Tzvi. Nice to see you, my love. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Rita. Nice to see you too. Hi, Jacqueline. Ya la 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 la. Ya la la la. Ya la la la. Ay ya la la la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah, la'asok b'divrei Torah. Hafok ba ve'hafok ba, la'asok b'divrei Torah. Dilia la 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 la. Dilia la 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 la. Ay la la la. Good morning, everyone. It's good to see all of you. I hope that you and yours are safe and well. First, a note. Yesterday, I shared to make sure that everyone knew that with my travel to Australia this week, there'll be an interruption in our broadcasts. But I forgot about the international dateline and what the travel to Australia entails from the United States, from the East Coast. And so, unfortunately, there will also not be a broadcast Thursday. So Thursday and Friday, we won't have a broadcast, my friends, for the first time in years. And my apologies and my gratitude to you all for understanding. I will look forward to broadcasting a few times from Australia. And so look to my Instagram feed and also to a post on the UJA Facebook page, letting you know what the schedule of broadcasts will be during this next week. Thank you, everybody, for understanding the beauty and importance of this trip and for coming with me, as my mother often says, in my hip pocket, wherever I go. Now, this last week has been many conversations, but one of them, which really deserves a good amount of attention, is the conversation around the halftime show at the Super Bowl. And if you think that won't work into the Parsha, just wait. To see Bad Bunny provide a glimpse into the joy and the celebration of the Puerto Rican community of America, and to sing in Spanish, and to witness that, is to let in something that is central also to this week's Torah portion. I know that that sounds like a reach, but trust me, it's right there. Because in Parshat Mishpatim, the Torah portion that we read this week is a central command. It's in Exodus chapter 22, verse 20. What is the verse? In Hebrew, The verse is, V'ger lo toneh v'lo tilchatzenu, ki gerim heyitem be'eretz Mitzrayim. You shall not wrong or oppress a stranger, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. And that is a very, very important verse. It is so important that it's repeated 36 times in the Torah. And we have a tradition that words are not wasted in the Torah. So why would this need to be reinforced 36 times? What an important thing for us to take in and to reflect on what it is to be a people who has gone through struggle and who comes forward with a mission, with language, with a powerful mandate based in experience. And for this, I want to turn to a wonderful teacher, Rabbi Zachary Truboff, who is a wonderful, wonderful teacher. He has a comment on myjewishlearning.com all about this. And he says, why do we need to be told this? Why do we need to be told not to oppress a stranger? He says, because often when people have been through something hard, they believe, and this is not true about us, but Freud points to this, as do many social scientists, they believe that because we have suffered, anything we do now is acceptable, which is another way of internalizing this kind of victimhood mentality, that we no longer should be held accountable because we don't have any power. But actually, with the emergence from Egypt, the Torah immediately understands that one day we will have choices that we're powerful enough to make, and how to use that power matters quite a lot. How do we present ourselves in the world as a people who have been through an experience? This is where the connection between the halftime show and the Parsha comes in just a little bit, because we could choose to represent ourselves as victims. Think about Jewish history and the litany of painful experiences, cataclysm and individual, that we have experienced. And yet, we could take a page from the way that Bad Bunny presented his pride in being from Puerto Rico, his pride in what America represents, his representation of Latino culture, the deep joy of having a real wedding take place on stage, and him handing the Grammy that he just won for singing in Spanish to a child, knowing that passing it forward is the big gift, and then holding messages. The only two things in English that were part of that show were being together and that love is more powerful than hate. That is a language that actually we know well, because the freedom that we are blessed with upon leaving Egypt comes immediately with structures for building a just and kind society, where equity is the bottom line. And shouldn't we be proud of that? Proud of a tradition that tells you to learn from the painful experiences. Listen to how Rabbi Jonathan Sachs reflects on this idea, as quoted by Rabbi Zachary Truboff. This is what Rabbi Sachs says. We say it wasn't us. That's how sense of victimhood continues. We say it wasn't us, it was the politicians, or the media, or the bankers, or our genes, or our parents, or the system, be it capitalism, communism, or anything in between. Most of all, it's the fault of others, the ones not like us, the infidels, the sons of Satan, the children of darkness, the unredeemed. Rabbi Truboff continues, we prefer to see ourselves as victims because it absolves us of responsibility for our actions. But the Torah teaches that this is the wrong answer. If we feel wrong, treated unfairly, and hurt, then it is our responsibility to take that pain and let it open our hearts to others. And what a powerful thing, friends. What a powerful thing it is for us to reflect in this week's Torah portion, which is about how to create a society. It's a reflection of a culture that we have in this week's Parsha, a culture built from law, and law based on lived experience. For us to understand that we could present that as a response to victimhood, we could absolve ourselves of moral responsibility, but in fact, we're better than that. We are not only what happened to us, and what a gift it is, friends, for us to understand that how we present ourselves with joy doesn't erase the pain, but it is a choice. And we could hand that joy to the next generation. We could model what it is to celebrate weddings and culture and music and dance and to promote love more than anything else. To know that together there is even more love. We owe that to our tradition, we owe that to our ancestors, and we owe that to our neighbors and to people who speak different languages. We have to remember that there is this multicultural weave that we call America. That vision of it is worth believing in. It is beautiful. It's exquisite. I feel it when I'm with my interfaith clergy partners in their churches and when they come to synagogue. I feel that on the street when strangers help each other across the street, which still does happen. It still does. And so how important it is for us to appreciate also the image. If you saw the show, one of the most powerful moments was of the power lines. That was somehow included in choreography because that's a response to hurricanes that have hit and hurt Puerto Rico, which has not received the kind of support as part of the United States that it should. And we could represent that as part of a response that strengthens love, that extends support, that reminds us of the ties that bind. Our Parsha tells us in this very important way. This Parsha tells us in a very important way, as Rabbi Jonathan Sachs taught and as Rabbi Trubuff quotes, that the story of humanity has too often been about victimhood, grievances. But we're better than that. We're more beautiful than that. The image of God is in every human eye, every glimpse, every heart. We have opportunity. We have the chance, because of how we were created and by whom we were created. We have the chance. We have the chance to do real good, to see the image of God in every other, and to see celebrations of joys as something we could learn from. To end by quoting my son, I interpreted the Power Lines choreography, my son Moshe writes, as a commentary on the important and necessary role immigrants have in supporting the U.S.'s infrastructure. Yes, that's another way to celebrate God's image in support of the collective. Thank you, my son. I bless us, friends. Thank you, Penny, on this, the 1488th broadcast, to remember what it is to see God's image in every human face, to hear God's language in every human language, and to know that together, actually, our love is more powerful than hate. Let's send our hearts to the east, friends, and sing. Kolon balevav penima nefesh Yehudi homia ulfatei mizrach kadima ayin letzion tzofia od lo avda tikvateinu התקווה בת שנות 2000 להיות עם חופשי בארצנו ארץ ציון וירושלים להיות עם חופשי בארצנו ארץ ציון Virushalayim. Am Yisrael Chai. See you tomorrow, my friends.